Hi everyone, it's Nick the Gardener and it's Friday the 9th of February 2024, or so they say. Today I want to take a soil sample from my potato beds, which are just down here, to see what sort of soil texture it is. See whether it's sandy, silty, clayey, a mixture, good loam or something like that. So one way to do that is you need to collect several samples of soil from your bed. So down here you can see 1, 2, 3 little test holes there from one bed or from all over the plot, all over your garden really, to find out what the soil texture is like. So yeah, I'm just going to take 3 samples from this bed and I'm going to empty them into a bucket here, and that means just get out all the big bits of sticks or stones or worms or anything like that. You don't really want them going in. And then what you want to do, like tall flat-sided jar with a flat bottom if you can. I'll just show you what I've got. Okay, so I've just got a hot dog jar which is fairly tall, fairly flat sides and a fairly flat bottom. Okay, so just want to take a core out really. That'll do. And best to get a glove on so you don't get dirty fingers. Sorry if you can't really see. But yeah, basically you just want to push the plug out into there. Easier said than done. It's been blooming raining for the last couple of days, so it might be easy to push it out. Ooh. Now it's coming. There we go, so that's one core. So sample number 2. I've done the same, remove the mulch off the top, and oh, that one came up quite easy. So there's number 2. In fact, it felt like there's a hole under there. I wouldn't be surprised if I'd just gone into Noel's tunnel. Oh. Right, so that's got 3 cores taken. Okay, so now we've got the soil sample home. I couldn't sieve it, but I went through my fingers trying to get out any big stones. There's a couple of little centipedes in there, a few worms that I took out, any little bits of roots and twigs, bits like that basically. So what you want to do now is just start to get the sample into the jar. And you want to fill it at least 100 millimeters. Later on I'm going to stick more in than that. So you want a decent sized sample so you get a good reading. I did it before and only took like half a size sample, and it turned out to be a loam, which is perfect, but I wasn't 100% sure whether it was a true reading because I only took one sample from one hole, and like I say, it wasn't a big sample. So basically to fill that maybe a little bit more, because once all the air's out it's going to settle down, and it's probably best to have more than not enough. So all you need to do now is add a couple of drops of washing up liquid, and that just helps separate all the particles out and lets it settle a bit quicker. I did this last time without washing up liquid, and the clay level took about 4 weeks to settle. So just a couple of little drops like that, that's all you need. And then you want to fill the jar almost up to the top with water. Just leave a little bit of space for mixing. And then you want to put the lid on really good. And you want to give this a real good shake. And when you get all those particles all dissolved as small as possible, all the big lumps, hold it up like that, check that there's nothing stuck to the bottom or anything. And then once you've got it completely mixed, the sand layer should settle first at the bottom, and that'll only take about a minute or so. The silt layer will then settle within an hour, and the clay, like I say, can take from 24 hours up to 4 weeks, but hopefully it's going to settle a bit quicker now. I'll put some washing up liquid in there. So I'm just going to pop this down on the table once it's well mixed, and I'll show you it settling. So it's just been about a minute now, and I think I can see a band forming around here, but it's going to take a long time to settle down. I'm going to put it on a time lapse now for the next hour, and hopefully this line of sand will be more defined, and we should start to see the silt layer forming too. Okay, so it's been an hour now since it's been settling, and I can definitely see a line forming just here, and then obviously just here, and it's going to take at least 24 hours, maybe longer. I mean, the last one I did took about 4 weeks for this completely settled down. So once it's all settled, after, like I say, like a period of time, I'll draw a line where each line is. Hopefully the clay will be up to about here, but yeah, and what we'll do, once we've marked it out, we'll measure it, and we'll convert that over to a percentage, and then we can have a look at the soil texture triangle, which would then tell you what sort of soil type you have. So I'll just quickly show you the sample what I took before. So this was the sample from the potato bed what I took before, and as you can see, I didn't get a very big sample, just the total samples up to there. And basically the clay, sand even, is this bottom bit here, the silt is up to that light layer, and then the clay is just that little layer on top. And when I looked at it, the total was 46 millimeters, the sand layer was 21, the silt layer was 18, and the clay layer was 7 millimeters. So converted over into percentage, it was 46% sand, 39% silt, and 15% clay, which when I looked on the soil texture triangle, we look at the soil texture triangle in a minute, you've got your soil comes out at the edges of the triangle. That means that it's not great soil really for growing, and you probably want to be adding a lot of compost to it. And compost will sort out sandy soil, making it more water retentive, and it'll also sort out clay soil by lightening it up. So I'll bring you back when this one here is settled completely down, and we'll take a look at the soil texture triangle and see where it is on the grid. Okay, so it's been about a week later, almost a week, and it's still not quite settled. It's still very cloudy here, but there's a very distinct line just here, and just there. So what we do is we measure each individual section, and we measure a whole lot. So basically the bottom here was sand, and that measured 48 millimeters. This middle layer was 25 millimeters, and this layer was just 10 millimeters. So to work out each percentage, you take the sand layer, which was 48 millimeters, divided by the whole total up to here, and then times 100, and that came out at 58%. This middle layer, 25 millimeters, divided by the total times 100, came out at 30%, and this last clay layer was 10 millimeters, so that was divided by the total again times 100, and that came out at 12%. And on the soil texture triangle, this came out at a sandy loam, so not quite as good as this one here, at the moment, but if it settles down any more, I mean this has been settling now for, like I say, about 4 weeks, and it's still not 100% settled. That just goes to show how fine the clay particles are. But yeah, if you wait for a few more weeks longer, you'll get a proper true reading. And yeah, you probably still want to take a bigger sample as well, actually. But yeah, it's important to find out what texture your soil is. I thought mine was clay, because when in the summertime, when it dried out, it was rock hard. And yeah, I just automatically assumed it was clay, but it's actually more of a sandy loam. So yeah, it's helpful to find out what plants you want to grow, how much to fertilise, because a sandy loam will leach nutrients out far quicker than a clay loam or clay soil. Yeah, so I hope you got something from this, and give us a thumbs up or subscribe if you did, and yeah, it'd be much appreciated. Thank you very much, and see you on the next one.